Hey, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's time to review the first two episodes of the new series on Disney Plus, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which I'm glad to say is actually pretty good. I did quite enjoy it. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty enjoyable fare. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already, and all that stuff. Explore the description for links for merch and my Patreon page and my website and my books, an Amazon Kindle and paperback, and other stuff. Also become a member. Then you'll get access to early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. You can join in the live chats when I do live streams if you're a member, and cool stuff like that. So, right. Off we go. Oh, and I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Follow me on there. Links are in the description. Right, so let's get on with this review of Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which stars Jude Law, although, spoilers, is only in at the very end of episode 2, but never mind. Right, so let's get on with this, shall we? Let's have a look at what's going on. Right, so here we are. There you go. There's the Star Wars logo, and let's get the episode up. So here we go. Start off with they don't do crawls anymore, do they? They just put the crawl in blue, as though it's like a long time ago and a galaxy far, far away. But instead of saying that, which they don't say anymore, do they? Instead of saying that, they put the crawl text in. So since the fall of the Empire, the New Republic has maintained order. They say, hang on, and yet remote hyperspace routes are increasingly plagued by piracy. It's all about pirates. Because as you know, it's basically Goonies in space. I'm not a Goonies fan, which seems to be quite popular these days, not being a Goonies fan. Anyway, right, these pirates boldly brand their armoured hulls as a sign to all ships, surrender or die. I don't think we see any of this branding on their hulls. Not that I noticed, but it didn't stand out. But anyway, off we go. So we see a planet there. And then we see some debris come floating by. And then a ship appears. And then it gets attacked. These huge things come crashing into the side of the ship. They're boarding tubes. I'm presuming that's what they're called. Something along those lines. And then we see somebody get killed straight away. Remember, this is kind of aimed at kids. As I said, it's like Goonies in space. The main characters are kids, so it's aimed at a child market. But yeah, it's quite violent in many ways. Oh, there we get a view of the ship that's attacking the. It looks a bit like a Tantive 4 kind of ship, like a blockade runner, but different. It's variation. This is the pirate ship that's attacking it. I don't see any branding on its hull. Do you? Anyway, never mind. Have I missed a bit? Is this the bit where we're going to see? There we go. That fella there. He cops for it straight away. These huge spikes that come in the side of the ship. The boarding tubes. Anyway, the crew, they're going to defend the ship. Don't know why, but they just are. Because, spoilers, I'm going to be saying that a lot, by the way. There's nothing on the ship for the pirates to catch. To steal. But they're going to defend it with their lives. But anyway, no, I'm lying. There's some fruit there. Got to keep that scurvy away, haven't they? Space scurvy. Oh, aye, straight. Speaking of violence, so they begin. Here come the pirates, and they start shooting at them straight away. And this chap, what species is it? Is it Weequay? Something like that. I can't. Something like that. This fella, he gets shot in the eye. But he's fine because look at his eyes, probably not near his brain like our eyes are, and just shoots this fella. So there we go. Yes, and it's got a gun on the underside of this ship as well. So that shoots, exciting explosions. I must admit, it does look cool. But it doesn't last long because some pirates go down on ropes, I suppose you could call them, tethers, and they plant an explosive on it, and it blows up. If I bloody land on it, there we go. So more explosions. Anyway, the pirates soon take control of the ship, and here comes the captain, Captain Silver. Is that what they call him? They call him Captain Silver. There we go. Yes, Captain Silver. But he's obviously Jude Law, who's we learn is not called that. It's called, I've forgotten, something like Jod Nana Wood, something like that. But here is Captain Silver. Everybody's saying it's obviously him, but you never know. They might throw a curveball at us. But I'm guessing this is supposed to be Jude Law, who is the captain of these pirates. And he beats up the captain of the of this freighter, saying, "We haven't got anything." Says, "Well, why is your hold magnetically sealed?" Sorry, vault. So they beat him up and says, "Throw him out of the airlock." So I'm guessing they just murdered him. Lots of murdering going on in this beginning bit, not just with blasters. There's people getting hacked to death and all sorts. It's for kids. But anyway, but right, so they just cut their way into the vault, and they find there's nothing in there apart from a single credit. This is Brutus. Here he is, who is one of those werewolf chaps. He's got a name. I can't remember the names of the aliens. We saw him in the. It was in the original version, the theatrical version, before the special edition of the original Star Wars, A New Hope, in the cantina. But then he got replaced, didn't he, with that elephant creature. But anyway. Although, no, did we see him twice? I think we might have seen him twice, because there were two werewolf creatures that we saw, one from the front and one from the side in the canteen. Anyway, he's one of those. He's called Brutus. He's like the first mate, I suppose, for Silver. And he says, "Oh, we lost all these good men for one measly credit," because they all took us the pirates. So they mutiny against Silver and beat him up, and hang on, it shows. It growls. Shows them beating him up. There they go, they're going to get him. Look, all grunting, beating him up. And then we have the opening titles. Don't mess about. Skeleton Crew. Right, so this is where we're meeting Wim. He's the main character, I suppose you could say. There's four main characters. And oddly enough, I remember all the names. We've got Wim, Neil, Fern, and KB. So it must have made an impression on me, because you know what I'm like with names. But here he's playing with his Jedi action figures on this planet where he's at. We learn that he lives on a world called Atin. Or some people have joked, 80 tin. But anyway, so here is his dad's calling him. His dad's called Wendell. His mother's nowhere to be seen. Has she passed away? Is she just not around? Don't know. Are they divorced? I don't know. She's just not there. So it's just him and his dad works as some sort of supervisor. So that, you know, he's always working, even when he's at home. He's always working. But so basically, we must to take care of himself. He's a latchkey kid, I suppose. Anyway, here he is eating his cereals. I don't know if they're Admiral Akbar's cereals or what, I don't know. But if you watch Robot Chicken, you know it's a trap. There he is with his. It's not quite blue milk, and it's not quite that green milk, is it, that we saw in Last Jedi? So maybe it's something else milk. Don't know what it's from. Space cows. Right, so he's eating his cereal. His dad leaves him some change. He says, "I'm going to be late all week," so he gives him his week's worth of lunch money in what turns out are Republic credits, Republic Detaris. Which we first heard about in Phantom Menace, didn't we? Because Qui-Gon Jinn said to what's his face, Watto, that you know, he had 10,000 Republic Dataris. I always thought it were Dactaris, you know, like the series with Clance the Cross-Eyed Lion, but it's not. It's Dataris. Anyway, so he's got those. Yeah, and there you can see there's his action figures, and there's his toy lightsaber that he plays with. Anyway, so he's going to work. Right, so heads out to catch the bus, the school bus, or the tram as they call it. There's some sort of robot mowing the lawn. There's Mrs. Ilk, I think it's Mrs. Ilk, or Ick, sorry, Mrs. Ick, walking her frog dog. So there we go. It's very Spielbergian. As I said, it's very Goonies. It's very Amblin Entertainment. In fact, it's very, very Amblin Entertainment. As though they're going out of the way to make it more Amblin and less Lucasfilm. Because this is, as I said, it's a very E.T., Poltergeist, that sort of stuff in it. This shot. But anyway, it's going into. He comes across Neil. This is Neil. Don't know what race he is. People have said he's the same race as Max Rebo, but the producer of the film said he's not. And he does look a bit different to Max Rebo. Max Rebo's just with his little black eyes, hasn't he? That don't do anything. But Neil, his eyes, move about and he blinks and all that stuff. So it's just a race that is similar. It's similar to the Max Rebo race. Don't ask me what race it is. I have no idea. But anyway. So he meets him, and we think they're going to fight, but they're not. The friends. They're going to pretend, and they're pretending to lightsaber duel, as you do, making the wrong noises. They're going whoosh, whoosh, whoosh instead of wow, making the proper sounds, like I just didn't. But anyway, they're pretending, and they say, "My guts, they're everywhere." And then other kids across the street say, "What are you guys doing?" They're playing. We're kids. They don't say that, but that's what they should say. Right, the school tram arrives. As you see, the vehicles all go on these, it's like a Skeletric, isn't it? All go on these lines in the road. Anyway, so in they go. There's the driver, who I'm told, I don't know, but I'm told resembles the driver from Star Tours. Obviously, I've never been on that, so I don't know. But the kids stick their... Is it gum? Or is it just stickers? I don't know. But they stick things on the back of his head. Anyway, so let's have a look at there's the front of him. I'm told it's from Star Tours, the driver or pilot or whatever from Star Tours. I don't know, because I've never been on it. Anyway, so here they are, heading to school on the school bus. And out the window, Wim sees, there we go, there's Fern and KB, and she thinks she's a wild child. She's basically she's rebelling against her mum, kind of, it seems. Her mum's some soup. She's under-secretary something or other. So her mum's quite important, so she's kind of rebelling against her. So she races a bike. It's a speeder, but they call them bikes. She races those, along with KB, who's some sort of electronics whiz. I don't know if she can take that off. She can lift it up, but I don't know if it's built into her at the sides. I don't know. Or if it's just something she wears. I'm not sure. Anyway, so he's watching those, and he sees them go down this road here, look. And there we see, it turns out this is a shortcut to school. So we're seeing that later, we come to that later. And I think in a way they should have expanded on that a bit, but they don't. But he just sees them go there, and then later on Wim heads that way. Right, so here we are, they're heading into town. It's all very, suburban and all that stuff. So there we go. Still, they're all using Arabic and proper Roman numerals. Not Roman numerals. Arabic numerals for the numbers, like they do in Star Wars. Why? Don't know. Anyway, right, so here they arrive. And you see there's all these robots about. They're called safety droids. Quotes, safety droids. This, although it seems like a nice cosy society, there's like an undercurrent of I wouldn't say fascism, but I don't know, totalitarianism to it. We've got these safety droids walking about, telling them, go to school, do not bunk off school. What's the word? I can't remember the phrase. You will get detention and all that. And the heads look like security cameras, don't they? Old style CCTV cameras. But anyway, and he sees when he looks round. Hang on, where are we? And he sees that there they are. They've arrived. Obviously, a safety droid is probably giving them a talking to. So we see that they've arrived first. So obviously, she took the shortcut. She got there quicker. I think that's Runa. Is it Runa? We learn that Neil has the hots for Runa. I'm guessing it's a she. Don't know what she is, but she's got 4 arms and 2 legs. Right, so we're in class now, talking about, I don't know, currency or something, with a droid. There's, I think it's Rune. Is it going to show us a head? It will in a minute. The droid that kind of reminds me of the flying saucers from Batteries Not Included. Again, for me, it's another Amblin reference. I don't know, but we saw he was drawing. I think he was drawing a Jedi. There's drawing a Jedi on his desktop thing, and this is Under Secretary, whatever she's called, Farah. I think it's Farah. Watching over him. Yes, Under Secretary Farah, played by Kerry Condon. I'm sure she's super famous. The name sounds familiar to me, but I couldn't tell you what she's been in. Anyway, but in this, I don't know, something about her. She's not acting it very well. And I can't put it down to the directing. Well, I can do. Directed by John Watts of Spider-Man fame, Homecoming and the others. And he did them well. So I don't know. But she's very, I don't know. She's saying that I've taken time out of my very busy schedule. There you go. Look. The way she says it is just really bad acting. But anyway. So we learned there's going to be an assessment test. Career assessment test. I suppose we all went through them, not when they were this young, at school. When you in the UK, when I were a kid, when you started getting to the last year of regular school, they started getting the careers officers in to try and work out what you're going to do with your life. And I was like, I don't know. But so this is what they're doing. There's a very as though they're all going to be assigned occupations. They're not going to do what they want to do. It's like they're going to be assigned stuff to do, and that's what their life is going to be like. There's the teacher. As I said, that reminds me of the little flying saucer things from Batteries Not Included. Deliberate? Dunno, probably not. But I think it is. Or the Smash Martians from the British commercial for instant mashed potatoes. Anyway. So they're all saying what they want to do, and but when it comes to Wim, he says, "Nice, Dad's a systems coordinator, but he wants to help people who are in danger." And she says, "That's not a career." And they all laugh at him. There we go. That's what safety droids are for. So anyway, Neil kind of takes the mickey out of him. Why did you say you wanted to be a Jedi? He says, "Well, I didn't." He says, "Well, you kind of did." Anyway, so they're heading home. That's where we learn that. His fancy's Rune. I think it's Rune. Yes, Rune. Pardon me, it's Neil. Anyway, right. So they're going to head home. Fern and KB are racing on her speed. Well, a hover bike. There you go. That's what they call a hover bike. Racing on that. We also learned, by the way. Sorry, let's go back to the class. I almost forgot that. There you go. Atin's contribution to the great work, and we also learned that there's a barrier surrounding the planet or the system or whatever. I don't know. Let's just say the planet. There's a barrier surrounding it that it's forbidden for starships to pass through it. Why? Dunno. It just looked like a big cloudy thing. But it got me thinking: is this Exegol? Because there's a bit of things surrounding Exegol that you can't. I don't know. Maybe not. But. Anyway, so she's talking about, they're to contribute to the great work of keeping the Republic safe and peaceful. But apparently they're cut off from the Republic. They don't say New Republic, I don't think. I think she just says Republic. Where is it? No, it must be later. Never mind. There we go. Keeping the Republic peaceful and strong. She doesn't say New Republic. Because we learn later on that this planet that they're living on is a myth. And people outside the barrier are not sure it exists. Let's say it's become a mythical world of, how do they put it? Eternal treasure, whatever that means. But anyway. So they're being cut off. So they don't know about the Empire or anything like that, I'm guessing. They don't know that the Empire rose and fell and all that stuff. But anyway, but they've got this... It's kind of an idyllic, yet slightly totalitarian society. Anyway. Right, so they head home. Right, here we go. Oh, right, she's racing. Almost crashing, being very dangerous. And then the bike breaks down. There it is, it breaks down. And they need a new power converter, so they need to get to Toshi Station, don't they? But anyway. We see Neil kicking this can up the street, and then he just misses it. Do you think that's because the actor, whoever plays him, don't ask me who's playing him, couldn't see it because of his mask? Probably, because he seems to be walking a bit gingerly, particularly when he gets up this thing here. Looks a bit... not really sure where I'm going. Anyway, maybe not. Right, so he arrives at his home, and we see that he's got a loving family there. Everybody's there, his mother and father and his brothers and sisters and all that. And they're all like, hello, hey, yeah, Bray. It's all lovely and happy in the home of Neil. But Wim has a very different experience. There's nobody home for him. As I said, he's a latchkey kid. So he arrives home. Meanwhile, they find out that it's a power converter that's gone on the hover bike, but they don't know where to get another one because they mustn't have the credits to buy a new one. Because she says the scrapyard's no good because they must have been there, so they've got to find one from somewhere else. Then these other cool kids arrive on their hover bikes. Here they are. Don't know what the names are. Oh, there we go. Bonge Falfa is the him. And apparently they go racing hover bikes with them. We never see him do it. Will we ever see him do it in the series? I don't know. But where do they do it? Don't know. Don't tell us. But obviously they go racing hover bikes with these lot. Because they're, bad kids. Whatever. So anyway. So there you go. We need a power converter so we can go racing. Right, she goes home. Oh, she must be KB's house, this. So anyway, so she goes home, and by the way, I'm guessing this is filmed on the volume. I've got that feeling for the series that it's entirely filmed on the volume. I'm guessing. Right, so she arrives home. They've got a droid there who looks just like the teacher, but a different colour. And she just easily reprograms the droid. She says, I've been upstairs all the time studying. And the droid says, but you weren't up there studying. She says, memory override, I was upstairs. A bit like using a Jedi mind trick, but mechanically. And she just says, okay, you've always been upstairs. Stupid robot. And then her mother's there. We see their mother is Under Secretary Farrer. And she's... apparently, Fern must have been a model student for a while because she was head of the class, and then she's let her grades slip a little bit as she's become a bit rebellious by the looks of it. But obviously, her mother being Under Secretary Farrer, whatever that means, has got some pull, and she's got her grade head girl sticker back or whatever they call it. So it's not what you know, it's who you know, isn't it? Right. So Wim's at home now doing his studying for the assessment test. His dad comes home from work and just interrupts him from his studies and says, get into bed. There you go. I said, Dad, I've got this to do. I've got a test tomorrow. No, get into bed. And I'm not going to read you a story. He says, can you read me a story like Mom used to? Says, I can't, I'm working. You've just got home from work. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway. He says, aren't you a bit old? Aren't you a bit old for bedtime stories? He says, love you. I love you too. And then he's looking at his mobile with his spaceships. That was a bit like a Cylon Raider, that, doesn't it? But this bit kind of reminds me of The Last Starfighter. I know that wasn't an Amblin film, but it kind of reminds me of that, where Alex is looking up at his mobile of planets and stuff. But not his, probably his brother's, but anyway. Right, so he's going to look on, he's got his iPad out, or whatever the Star Wars version is. By the way, none of this feels to me Star Warsy, by the way. Star Wars things are mentioned in it, but it doesn't have a Star Wars feel to me. That doesn't mean it's not good. But anyway, I will. It feels more, as we get later on, and particularly episode 2, it more reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy than the Star Wars, but anyway, you'll see. So he's looking at this, he's looking at like a storybook or something about Jedi and all that stuff. There's all this stuff here. If I could read Arabic, I'm sure somebody's translated all this. But there you go, he's reading all about what Jedi get up to, or got up to. Oh, as far as he knows, they still get up to it, because I said they're cut off from the outside universe. There's the Great Barrier. I don't know what these red dots are. Are they inside the Great Barrier maintaining it? Are they outside maintaining it? Are they just where the stars look through the Great Barrier? I don't know. But anyway, it's this swirly mist that they're not supposed to pass through. Anyway, next morning, oh no, Wim's slept in and he's late. He's running for the bus. And Neil's saying, you can make it, Wim. And he says, no, I'm going to take a shortcut. There we go. And he goes, oh, what? And I think they should have had a little extra scene in here. They should have shown, earlier on when it showed Fern and KB heading, towards the shortcut. I think they should have shown her going through the woods and jumping her hover bike over the ravine. We're going to see a ravine in a bit. Over the ravine to get to school in time. And what they should have done here, and it's a shortcut that everybody knows about, but only if you've got a hover bike that can jump over the ravine. And he says a shortcut. He should have said the shortcut. And Wim should have said, no, you can't. Your hover bike won't jump the ravine. That's how I think they should have done it, but they don't. So here he is. He gets on his hover bike. Everybody must have one. And off he goes. There you go, into the shortcut, through the woods, through the Endor forest. Woo, whoop, whoop. So off he goes, going through the woods. And he's late already. They've arrived. They've got to school. They're doing the test. Here they are. There's Wim's place is empty, obviously. So it's not a very good shortcut, is it? But anyway. I see this, and he goes, oh, where are you, Wim? But he's still heading through the woods, nearly crashing several times. Right, so he's going to get to the ravine. Here he goes. He gets to the ravine and stops and falls off his bike, rolls down the soft grassy slope, and there he goes, stuck at the bottom of the ravine now, and he can't get out. He tries climbing back up. But he can't. But as he's climbing up, he finds something. There we go. There's something metallic under the grass, dirt, soil, whatever it is. And he sees it's a door, and then a droid appears magically. Says, student, you are absent from school or whatever. So obviously the droid collects. I don't know how it gets him out. Don't know. Maybe has a ladder in its pocket. I don't know, but is his bike still there, by the way, top of the ravine? I'm guessing it is. Don't know, doesn't tell us. But anyway, there he's in front of essentially the principal's office. I'm guessing that says principals, Princeple, probably. OFFI. Yes, I think that says principal's office or whatever. Anyway, so he's waiting to be seen by the principal. Anyway, she arrives. She's asking what he's in for. How late. Missed me test. And then she starts lying. There you go. She talks about secret chamber under the school. That's where they take bad kids. Because all she does is lie. She makes up stories. Anyway, by the way, I forgot to mention. There seem to be Sami Zayn fans. There's Wim and Neil. Got this badge on their top. It kind of looks like the Sami Zayn symbol from the wrestling. Anyway, whatever. Right, his dad comes out, says, I can't believe I was called from work for this, and you're going straight home, and you're going to, they said you can take the test again, and, but you've got to pass, you've got to get every question right to pass, so get home now and do all this studying, and blah, blah, blah. Right, so, yes, sir. love American kids, they're calling their parents sir and ma'am, or ma'am. But never do that in the UK. Anyway, there he goes, he's saying he's found a Jedi temple. Tells his dad, I found a Jedi temple out in the woods, so she's overheard that. And then he says, I was lying. Right, then we're back at Neil's house, and his little brothers and sisters are watching the hologram thing from the Star Wars Holiday Special. Why? Don't know. They're just there. Want it cringe enough in 1978, but so they're watching that. Neil's in the bath, having a bubble bath, and it's there we go. It's Wim knocking on the skylight. Good job we want up to something, if you know what I mean. So they're telling you, I found a real Jedi temple, so they're gonna go and find it. Don't know what this is in the background. Is it some sort of religious thing, or is it just a poster? Don't know. Anyway. So they head out there. Oh, this guy's got his hoverbike. Look, they're heading out there on their hoverbike. I was pushing it. Why are they riding them? Don't know. Anyway, so they get to the ravine, and he says, "Hold on to this rope," and but then they both fall down because they're idiots. So they both end up at the bottom of the ravine. So they can't get out now, can they? You had to get a droid to help him out last time. But anyway, never mind. Your bones are too heavy. Anyway. And this deep voice says, stay away from that, and this alien-y, robot-y voice. And it turns out it's KB using a voice changer that's built into the thingamabob, visor, for want of a better word. But they've arrived as well. She's got a shovel with her as Fern, and they're claiming it. So there we go. Claimsies and unclaimsies and doing all that kid stuff, very adorable, whatever. But they get claimsies on it. There's Fern and KB. So, but they say, well, you can work for us and dig it out. So that's what they're going to do. And they're there for quite some time. Oh, she tells another lie. By the way, she says, this part of the forest, we're going to be a neighbourhood extension or something like that, and they were doing the sewage system, and something went wrong, and there were poisonous gas, and the workers, instead of it killing them, it sent them crazy and started eating each other, so they just shut them all in, sealed them in, but sometimes you can hear them clanging, there they go, banging on the doors, so they listen, and then she bangs on with her trowel to scare them. Bang, there we go, the trowel. It's not a trowel, it's a shovel. Anyway. Right, so they're going to start digging. They're digging into the night. Look, it's night time now. His dad's coming home in his little space car. It's bloody awful, isn't it? He sees Wim's not home, so he gets worried. Where's Wim gone? Anyway, so they're going to get inside. They find a little panel, and KB checks it out, and she's got this little cable that she runs, like a USB lead. There you go. She runs from a visor to this, which magically disappears because she does this, and then it opens up, and she steps away, and the cable's just vanished miraculously. Anyway, never mind. So there you go. There's the way in. So they're going to go and have a look inside. They hear his dad calling, because his dad's out looking for him, saying, Wim, where are you? So he goes inside, saying, my dad will have to believe me now. His dad's looking for him. There you go. So in they go, and they find a robot. This is SM-33, aka Smee, except they never called him that yet. SM-33, and we see he's got space rats living in his eye. That shot, I don't know, that reminds me of something. I can't think what. I've seen that angle of a robot in something else, and I can't think what it is. Really reminds me of something, I don't know what. I can picture it in my head, either from a comic or a cartoon or something, I don't know, or a film, I can't remember, but that just reminds me of something. But anyway, there you go. He has a look. There's Neil and says, "There's something in here," and a little there you go, space rat comes out, which seemed to be happy living inside SM33's head. By the way, we see him several times. Don't know how many there is. Is there just that one that keeps coming backwards and forwards, or is there a whole family of them? Don't know. Anyway, the door shuts behind them because what happens? SM33 had his hand on a lever, and when the space rat jumps out and Neil steps back, it makes SM33 pull the lever, and it makes the door shut, the hatch. And there's no power, so they're going to follow that red pipe to find out where the power can be turned on. So KB has found another hatch. He says it's down here. So they all head down there, but Wim is going a different way. But Neil says, "I'm going with them," because he just wants to go home. So he heads another way. There's Wim, and he sees his own reflection and scares himself with his own reflection. And but he finds, but in a minute, he finds the bridge, I suppose you'd say, the cockpit of the ship. But first, they find the engine room, I suppose you could say. I don't know. But by the way, the ship, we learn, is upside down. As you can see, so all these panels and stuff that are lighting up. By the way, she starts it up by giving it a good old whack. In a minute. There you go. Gives it a good old whack with a pipe, because that starts things going, doesn't it? And everything all lights up. And there you go. He's found the bridge. As you see, the seats are upside down. So he's on his walkie-talkie. My son told me to get some walkie-talkies. He wanted to talk to me when I'm out for my walks. I said, I don't think they have that range, Aidan, but anyway. Anyway, it's all lit up, and he presses a button, obviously, because he's stupid. Is he going to do it now? Hang on. Pressing the wrong button. Here we go. Hang on, I haven't pressed it yet. That green button there. There you go. There's this beeping's going on, and he says, "Oh right," but he sees a button. He's obsessed with buttons. He's got to press the buttons or pull levers or do things because he's stupid. It's annoying, but in a way that I don't hate the series about it. But anyway, so he presses the button, and the ship comes to life. We also see that. So they head back out towards the hatch, which is open now. But we also see SM33 is coming back to life. Head to the hatch, and the ship starts taking off. His dad's watching as they're all hanging out of the hatch, and his dad actually does see him. There you go, the ship, and it starts turning over. It starts rolling over. Does the ship? Because as I said, it was upside down. How long has it been buried there? Dunno. Why does nobody know about it? I said it must have been there a long time to get buried under all that soil and plant life. But anyway, his dad sees him and says, "Oh, look, it's your dad." And but then the ship starts tipping over. There, back in the hatch, Wim is hanging on for his life, and they pull him in just in time. And his dad sees his son and his friends flying away towards the barrier. So, oh no, what's going on? Anyway, so they head to the cockpit, and they head out through the barrier. Hang on. As they fly out through the barrier, there we go. That's the barrier. We're not allowed to fly through the barrier, and as they do, they see stars for the first time. Wim says, "Oh, they're planets," but KB says, "No, they're stars." And he said, "I didn't know there'd be so many." And then, for some reason, don't know why, maybe it's just automatic, I don't know, but the ship just goes into hyperspace. There you go. Did he press a button? Don't know, but it just automatically jumps into hyperspace. Where it thinks it's going, I don't know. I hope it's made the precise calculations from the Navi computer. Anyway, off it goes, and there, that's it. We see them all scream. There we go. Ah! And that's the end of episode 1. There we go. Pretty good, I must admit. I did quite enjoy it. I was actually surprised that it got to the end of the episode. I was like, "Ooh, that went fast." because it was a decent length episode, like 40 something minutes, about 45 minutes. So pretty good. I enjoyed that. I'm not a fan of Goonies, but I don't think it was like Goonies. I didn't like the characters in Goonies. That's why I don't like the film. But these weren't too bad. Even though they're stupid kids, but kids are supposed to be stupid, aren't they? But anyway, so let's move on. By the way, that first episode, I forgot what it's called. This some kind of adventure or something like that. Hang on, let me check. I forgot what they called the episode. Yes, the first episode is called This Could Be a Real Adventure. And now we're going to watch or look at episode 2, which is a shorter episode. It's about half an hour. Called Way, Way Out Past the Barrier. So that's what we're going to do now. Right, so here we are with episode 2, Way, Way Out Past the Barrier. There we go. I'll get a quick recap. There we go. Wow, we have new helmets at the beginning. Let's have a look. We've got R2. Don't know what that is. That was Silver, wasn't it, from the beginning? That was, the pirate captain at the beginning. Jude Law. That was his helmet, wasn't it? That's the driver of the school tram, isn't it? Or Star Tours. C-3PO, Darth Vader. Not sure what that is. One of the safety droids. Mandalorian. And SM-33. There we go. Cool. Right, and the Star Wars logo. Right, we're off. They're in hyperspace. Like, oh no, what we're going to do? And I don't know if he presses a button or does something, but the ship just drops out of hyperspace at high speed. There we go. Just like that. They just dropped out of hyperspace. It must have amazing inertial dampeners because they're not just squished to mush. But anyway, so here they are. In the middle of nowhere. And I think KB says if we were in hyperspace then we could be anywhere. Because as we know, in Disney Star Wars, it doesn't take any time to get anywhere in the galaxy, so they could be anywhere, couldn't they? But so they decide they're gonna they should just turn round and head back home, but nobody knows how to fly the ship. But then we hear a noise, and here comes SM-33, comes clanking out of this mist. Hang on in a minute. Which kind of reminds me of here he comes out of the steam. Kind of reminds me either of that film Hardware, which I've only seen once, and I don't think I liked it very much, but people rave about it, or the film Moontrap. Oh, it could be several films. The film Moontrap, which stars Bruce Campbell and Walter Koenig, which is amazing and also terrible, but it's still amazing. Or the film Virus with Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Sutherland. Kind of reminds me of that as well. But anyway, it's SM-33 could be saying, calling for the captain and saying there's stowaways aboard and all that, because it's voiced by Nick Frost and he's putting on a pirate voice. Anyway, so she lies again, does Fern. She said, I killed the captain, stabbed him in the gut and shoved him out an airlock, so now I'm the captain. And that seems fine for SM-33, so he's calling her captain. So she's in charge. But anyway, so they're going to show us how to fly this ship. So that's what he's going to do. So he's telling them all what to do. He says, where do you want to go? She says, Atin. I said, never heard of it. Do you mean somewhere? It goes through all these planets beginning with A. And says, no, it's Atin. And she says, search your memory banks from where you were last. But he doesn't know it. He can't find it. And they blame the rat. The rat comes out of his brain again and runs off across the counter. There it goes. Look. Beep, 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 beep. Kind of reminds me, I know a lot of things in it remind me of stuff, of that little creature from Star Trek Insurrection. You know, that kid on the Baku planet. In the briar patch, he has that little pet that he keeps in his pocket, his little pocket rat, whatever the hell it is. Kind of reminds me of them, but a bit more furry, with more eyes. But anyway, so off it goes, and it scares Neil. but he kind of befriends it later on. But anyway. So, we learn that it doesn't know. Doesn't the ship have a navi computer? Doesn't know where it's just been? Obviously not, because I think we've come across this in Star Wars before, haven't we? Or, more importantly, Disney Star Wars before, where the ships don't seem to have a record of where they've just been. So we've been through all this, but which is kind of stupid, but never mind. So he says, points to the stars, he says, which one is at-atting? Obviously they don't know. And before it said that the ship needs repairing and there's no spaceport where we can get what we need. So she says, well, if you can't take us to at-atting, take us to the spaceport and somebody there can give us directions. So that's what they're going to do. Meanwhile, Wim has run off in a huff because he got blamed for them being in this predicament, which, it kind of is his fault. It was him that pressed the green button after all because he couldn't bloody resist it, little shit. Anyway, so I got angry then. There you go, there's the opening credits. Right, this is his dad. This is Wendell looking for... no, it didn't yet. This is security droids, safety droids. They're out looking for what caused a seismic disturbance. Obviously, when the ship took off, must have triggered sensors or whatever. You'd think people would have seen it, wouldn't you? But they're out looking for what's caused this seismic disturbance. But they can't find anything. There's a big bloody hole in the ground where the ship was, but, they can't find anything. But they do come across Wendell, there he is, who's out looking for his son, and he says, the starship took off, and my kids and his friends are on board, you've got to help them. And they say, they've gone through the barrier, and they say, oh, but going through the barrier is a violation. Yes, but you've got to help us. So we know that they know that the kids are missing. And where they are. We know that the kids are no longer on the planet. They've gone off into space. So they're going to go after them. Don't know. Right, so Neil's off looking for Wim. He comes across a skeleton. Comes across two skeletons. And obviously he goes, ah! One's a human skeleton, one looks like an alien skeleton, doesn't it? Don't know what they were. So he's obviously a bit taken aback, and then Wim says they were killed each other in a duel, and Wim is all fine with this. If I were a kid and I found, skeletons, I'd be freaking out. There's dead bodies, essentially, aren't there? But anyway, it says he's found the captain's cabin. It says, isn't this wizard? They say wizard a couple of times in this. It must have been a phrase back in the times of the old Republic. Isn't this wizard? There we go. Isn't it wizard? And he's also found some big pirate hats that he's trying on. And obviously, it's all covered in dust, by the way, so it's obviously been there for some time. So I don't know exactly how long. But this ship, I think, must be known for reasons, but because of what happens. Anyway, I said, obviously, Neil just wants to go home, but Wim, for some reason, he thinks this is cool. We've only just got here. But there's a little creep in it. So anyway, they're heading to this spaceport, which is kind of cool. There we go. The ship actually is kind of cool looking. I must admit, it is a cool ship. But here we go. Here at the spaceport. That's a familiar ship, isn't it? That was Silver's ship from the beginning that attacked that freighter. But here's the spaceport. Lots of ships docked there. But anyway, and then we see as it approaches, they've got guns. There we go. There's guns aiming at them, but not firing, because we learn later on, somebody asks, how did they get past the guns? So that's why I'm saying this ship must be known. Has it got some sort of transponder aboard that allows them through? Was the captain of this ship, was he a regular at this spaceport in the distant past? I don't know, but anyway. Any familiar looking ships, by the way? Them two are the same. They just copy and pasted those two. Looks like it, doesn't it? But I was looking to see if there are any familiar shaped ships, but I can't see any. Specifically I thought, is there any, Millennium Falcon type ships, or is it YT-100 freighters or whatever they are? But I didn't notice any. Anyway, so here it comes. There we go, another gun aiming at them, but not shooting. Port Borgo, that's what it's called. So obviously it's a place where pirates live. or reside. Anyway, so here it comes. It's coming and docking, and here it comes. A little one of these. It's like a little taxi arrives and docks with them. There we go. And SM33 tells them this little fella, him, who looks like that I don't know what he called the character. It's that long as I've seen it. Off Ewoks, The Battle for Endor. Wilfred Brimley's friend that used to run round really fast. I think it's one of those, because he does run around quite fast. Not quite as fast as the one in Battle for Endor, but I think it's supposed to be one of those, and I don't know what they're called, sorry. I can't remember the name of the character. I'm hopeless, I know. But anyway, he's the driver. And I'm not sure, is he stop motion, CG? I don't know. Some people have mentioned Phil Tippett worked on this, so is it like a bit of stop motion they've done? It looks good, it's smooth. Anyway, I don't know. Or it could just be a puppet, I don't know. But there you go, it'll take you to the port. So they all pile in, leave SM33 on the ship. I think he says I'll start repairs. So off they go. There they go to the spaceport proper. And here it is. And as I said, I'm not getting Star Wars vibes. Even though I said I was looking for Millennium Falcons, if there were one there, I'd have got a Star Wars vibe. But I'm not. As I said, it reminds me more of Guardians of the Galaxy than Star Wars, to be completely honest. But I'm still enjoying it. So yeah, they arrive. And the little creature, I've gone past it. No, I haven't. He wants paying. There he is. He's on Fern's shoulder. He wants paying for his little ferry job. So he gives him one of his. Remember, he's got his lunch money for the week. So he's essentially rich. They're in Old Republic credits. So he gives him one of them, and he runs off happily. He's obviously going to get some booze or whatever, or maybe he's heading to the pie shop. I don't know. But right, so they've got to, ask around for directions, stick together. But instantly they split up. There's some sort of establishment of ill repute, no doubt. But anyway, they get separated, i.e. they just wander off. KB looks at these weird creatures in these cages. Cat fairies, I don't know what the hell they are. I see somebody selling weapons. This is one of the weapons that he's selling. Anyway, the Fern finds it, and then this woman appears. Don't know what race she is either, but she's saying, you've got to get out of here, kids. This is a dangerous place. And she asks where you're from, and we learn in a minute. There we go. That she says we're from Atatin or something like that. She says, this is where they learn it. That's from the mythical world of eternal treasure. But I might have missed that bit. Hang on. They've got their own ship. Where's home? Here we go. Atatin. That's where she says, come on, where are you from? Oh, we're going to get back to that. Right, meanwhile, Neil and Wim have arrived at a fast food place, and so they'll have what he's having. So they get like a bowl of horrible looking stuff, and he wants credits. There you go, 5 decks. No, I think it was 2 decks originally. There we go, 2 decks, and he gives him one of his. He says, "Is that enough?" He puts one of his lunch money credits, and on the counter, and he gets all excited. He says, how he says that'll be more. He wants more of them. So obviously these Old Republic credits are like gold or gold pressed platinum to these aliens. And he's saying, how did you get it? And Neil says, his dad gave it for his lunch money. So how did you get these, pristine Old Republic credits? So anyway, so obviously Old Republic credits are probably hard to come by. I'm guessing there's New Republic credits now, which are not worth a lot, are they? We learned in The Mandalorian. But anyway. Right, this fella we've seen, he were in Mandalorian Season 3, I think, wasn't he? One of the pirates in that, which, absolutely terrible. But I think he's supposed to have died in that, so this must be set before that. Unless he's just an alien that looks exactly like him. But I can't remember his name, and I don't care. But the cause a distraction and run off. There you go, he starts a fire and stuff, and they run off. There you go, now she's talking. A minute. A couple of Linderlings, wherever that is, from the lost planet of eternal treasure. There we go, so it's a mythical world. Anyway, the boys come running up and being chased by pirates, and she's got a blaster from somewhere, don't know where, but maybe it was on the ship. I didn't see her pick it up. She says, leave us alone. We're going to get out of here. Then SM-33 says, leave my captain alone. And he comes on, beats up all the pirates, and head back to the ship. Run past this fellow who's having a tattoo done. Knock the tattooist. He says, oh, you've ruined it. And then the bloke looks at him, grabs hold of him, and says, oh no, it looks perfect. It sounds a bit like C-3PO. I wonder if it's Anthony Daniels that's done the voice. I don't know. But anyway. There's this fellow. We saw him at the beginning. He's one of Silvo's crew, who is now Brutus's crew, the werewolf chap. And apparently he's famous. I don't know who he is, but apparently he's famous. Let me look him up. Jaleel White. Who's Jaleel? It's called Gunter, by the way. Who the heck's Jaleel White? I've no idea. I'm sure he's super famous in America. He was. I've heard of Urkel from Family Matters. I'd never seen Family. It's this thing that we'd never seen of it. Well, I don't think we have. Steve Urkel he played. I've heard of Urkel. Only through The Simpsons. I've heard Homer Simpson mention Urkel. Anyway, he also voiced Sonic the Hedgehog. So there we go. Right. So that's who it is. Right. So Steve Urkel. Like Urkel. Anyway, so he sees them and he looks at them really hard, as though the direction is watch them faster with more intensity. Am I seeing that? Look. Anyway, I wonder what we're going on. Oh, it's the I thought something were on fire there at the back of that big explosion. I think it's an asteroid behind that ship, isn't it? Anyway, so here we go. They're getting back, and she says, "Why did you bring us to a pirate port full of pirates?" And SM-33 says, "'Cause we are pirates, yar." I said, "We're not pirates, we're kids. You're not pirates." But then he gets shot. There we go. All that electricity zaps him, and it's Brutus that shot him. The poor little rat's injured. Look, this is where the little rat runs up to. There we go. Runs up to Neil. So there we go. He befriends the little space rat. I'm sure he'll give it a name at some point. But anyway, it's Brutus. He's here. Who's running around my spaceport? He says. And what you're doing here and where have you cut and all that stuff. He says, why do you have to draw before you shot it? So he throws them in the brig. There you go. What's a brig? So they're in prison now. And we see that in good old-fashioned, Pirates of the Caribbean fashion or whatever, they just lock them in and then put the key there for them to see. Why do they always do that? Don't know. But so they're stuck in this brig, and then. But Neil says, "What if we train this rat, or whatever they call it, train this little guy to get the key over there?" I think he doesn't really understand what the word "train" means, because he just puts it down. Because just putting it down, he says, "There you go over there." He says to it, "Go over there, climb that pole, grab the key, and bring it back." That's not training, Neil. That's just speaking to it. So he just lets it go. In fairness, it does head for the key and then just runs off. I'm sure it'll be back. It'll have gone straight to Smee, won't it? SM-33, whatever we're going to call it. It'll run back into its head. Because I bet it fixes. I bet it goes inside. I bet the SM-33 needs the rat in his head. I bet it does. To work properly. Anyway, right. So there she's talking about at-atting some sort of eternal treasure. Everybody seems to think it's mythical, but then we hear a voice. There we go, coming from the back of the cell, and it says, "You need to get the key." And here we see him. He uses the force. There we go. Use the force to make the key come back. He says, "I'll help you." She tells it, "We've got a ship." And says, "I'll help you get out of here as long as you take me with you. I'll help you get back to your home as long as you take me with you." Because you might be arguing, I was at the time with myself, well, if you can do this, why don't you just get out and just escape and just go find a ship? There's lots of ships docked at this spaceport. Why don't you just go and steal a ship and go? Why does he have to wait for these kids? Is it the Force that's telling him to hold on? Don't know. But anyway, so he gets the key. And then we see it's Jude Law. He shusses him, says, "Can you keep a secret?" Because he says, "You're a Jedi." He says, "Can you keep a secret?" And then that's the end. That's the end of that episode. So there we go. I quite enjoyed these 2 episodes. I hope they keep it up, and I hope they don't make a balls up of it. And but we will see, won't we, as the series goes on. It's only 8 episodes, so we're a quarter of the way through already. But the first 2 episodes were pretty good. Quite enjoyed them. As I said, I'm not getting a Star Wars feel, even though it's playing, particularly when we were getting the key. We got a bit of a Force theme, bit of that going on. But apart from that, it's not very Star Warsy. As I said, it reminds me more of Guardians of the Galaxy or just some other, generic space adventure. But a well-made one, and I really am enjoying it, I must admit. If I'm going to give it a score, I'll give it 7 out of 10. Because the kids are quite kind of annoying, but that's what kids are for, isn't it, I suppose? To be annoying. But anyway, we finally met Jude Law, although it was him at the beginning. I mean, it had to be, didn't it? It sounded like him. And this is where they've thrown him. In the brig. So, we're going to see I don't know what's going to happen next. Does it say in the episode guide, if I can find it? Hey, do we have an episode title for episode 3? No, we don't. No, we don't have any clues about what's going to happen next. But anyway, so there we go. By the way, the music were by, I was confused actually. It said at the end, score by Mick Giacchino. And I thought, why is he going by the name Mick? So there's Michael Giacchino, who did the music for like Star Trek and Rogue One and the Jurassic World films and other stuff. Really good composer. Better composer than he is a director, in my opinion. But anyway, but it turns out Mick Giacchino is his son. So there we go, keeping it in the family. Anyway, excuse me. So there we go. So that's the first 2 episodes. This could be a real adventure and way out past the barrier. Actually really enjoyed them. It's, I can't say it's the best Star Wars since, I don't know, Andor or whatever, or Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, because it doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. But it's still, enjoyable, and I did think it was pretty good. Let's say 7 out of 10. And I'm looking forward to episode 3. These 2 episodes went by really fast, so that must be a good thing, because it's not dragging. I'm not like checking. I don't think I checked my phone. Usually when I'm watching things, my hand goes to my phone if my attention wanders. But that didn't happen once with either of these episodes, so it kept my attention, and I remembered the names of the main characters. So it's doing something right, isn't it? It's doing something right. So it's a thumbs up from me. So there we go. So, right. So we'll leave it there. As I said, I look forward to the 3rd episode next week. I hope it's just as good. I've heard that modern day sensibilities have snuck in to episode 3 with a I think it's KB that has 2 moms. Can't help themselves, can they? Can't help themselves, but whatever. As long as it doesn't interfere with the main thrust of the story, then fair enough, and they don't dwell on it. Which I don't think they will. So obviously we're going to go back to Atin. Why are they calling it that? Don't know. But they're going to go back there, and we're going to learn about what they're going to do to try and find these kids. So obviously Wendell is going to go see Under Secretary Farrer and KB's parents, KB's moms, and Neil's family as well. I'm sure they're all going to get together and say what we're going to do, but we'll see what happens, won't we? And we'll see how they get out. How they get out of this prison, this brig. How we get out of this brig and get back to the ship and repair SM-33 and go and have more adventures out in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe. I mean Star Wars universe. Right. We'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. It says it down there. Follow the instructions and all that stuff. And so thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. May the force be with you. I nearly went like that then. Because I'm stupid. And until next time, I'll say the...